So we have to visit this website, make.powerautomate.com. Pardeep and Shubhangi. So we have to go ahead and search this website, make.powerautomate.com. I will share this in the chat as well. So you can find it in chat. Okay, do it simultaneously. And Pradeep and Shubhangi, so let me know if you face any challenge. Let me know once you open up this website, make.powerautomate.com. Is it open?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So yeah, then here, if you're logged in already, go to My Flows. Here, go to My Flows. And in My Flows, click on Desktop Flows here. Click on Desktop Flows. Okay. And here you'll get Download an App option. Here also in install also you'll get the option, or you can click on download app. Both option is there. So click on that. So it will download within a minute if you have good internet connectivity.
Sir, is it okay if I create after this call, because everywhere it's showing my company profile? So
So is it fine if you go and install Power Automate in your system? That's fine. You can say for learning purpose I installed it.
okay.
Yeah, that is fine. That's not a harmful. You can tell that just for exploring my skill, I just installed this Power Automate. But check if whether you are able to install it or not. Maybe you need admin privilege or not. Just try to download and install. Once you download, installation is not that much difficult. It's a simple next you have to do that. It's not a big deal. Okay, this is completed. Let me start installing this. Okay, I think this is installed. So sorry, downloaded. I can install it now. Pradeep and Shubhangi, are you able to download the software?
Yes, sir. Yes.
Okay, good. Just go ahead and install it.
Okay, sir.
Okay, meanwhile, I'll make a note of the content, what we're going to cover up. This will be in background operation installation. It's going on. So just see on the screen. So we'll be going with the introduction today and we'll set the context. So basically, okay, it will take a couple of minutes. So let this run in background. Let's have a discussion on what kind of things we're going to cover up. This list is not limited. We'll come up with the more content as well. So we'll be going with the first of all introduction, that is we're going to cover up today. Okay. I know regarding RP, everybody is aware here. No one is new. So we'll be talking on, there are two things in the Power Automate. One is Cloudflow and Desktop Flow. So we'll see the difference between these two, okay? Versus Desktop Flow. What can different types of flows also we can go ahead. Then inside Desktop Flow, what are things we are going to cover up? All kind of automations, I would say. So it means we are going to cover up basics, string manipulation. We'll start with this one. Okay. Simple example. Then string manipulation will cover up. Okay. Then date manipulation. The required things. Variables and data types. Okay. Then we'll see automation, like Excel automation. With UI automation, means any desktop application automation. And browser automation. Then email automation. Then we'll be having API, okay? API integration and its automation, that will cover up. Further, we'll be going to cover some SharePoint related operations. Let's see if it is possible to link up SharePoint operations. I don't know if freely available or not, but we'll try. Okay. Also, we'll be going through multiple examples and implementations. Use cases will be discussed. Then we'll build a framework. So framework we are going to build for development purpose. So all these points we are going to cover up in desktop flow. Okay. Then one more point is there, how to integrate. Right. Cloudflow inside desktop flow. Very important point. Scripting we learn. Okay, scripting very much required here in Power Automate. Under scripting we have VB, then we have VB, then Python is there. Okay, we have PowerShell. Okay. So these are different scripting we can use, or scripting we can use in Power Automate. That provision is available, and most of the things we can achieve through the scripting only. Like PowerShell is one of the powerful scripting normally we use in Power Automate. So this thing is we're going to cover up with the highlight page. Definitely this is very helpful and save you a lot of time during the automation. Okay. Anything else would you think is necessary? Those are already working in UiPath. As I said, this list is not limited. We'll cover up more again as and when if you require anything else. So we are going to focus on that as well. Okay. Then next part is Cloudflow. We'll discuss on the Cloudflow, and mostly in Cloudflow, Power Automate is too much mature, so there too much is the maturity is there in case of Cloudflow. So ready to use flows that we'll discuss. Then how to build a Cloudflow. Build a Cloudflow. Then we have the types of flows as well. Okay, types of flows we'll discuss here. And at the end, we'll cover up how to schedule a bot or a process, or the flows I could say, how to schedule a flows. So this is the important as a real-time work. Consider how to schedule a flows. The licensing we'll discuss. Licensing part. Okay. Then environment. All these things will be covering up in this content. Somebody joining. Let me take you. Okay. Yeah. So any question? Let me revise this. Okay, our Power Automate is ready. Okay, let me revise what we're going to cover up through our training. Again, I'm saying this list is not limited. We will be coming up with the new content and new requirement if there is a requirement. Of course, Sunil sir will be adding few components to this syllabus, what I mentioned here. So we'll be discussing Cloudflow and Dexterflow in today's session, and we'll go and build a small. I'll give a kind of trailer, today what this Power Automate and how we are going to use it. Then our main focus would be on desktop flow automation. So we are going to cover up different topics under that. Like we are going to cover up flows and subflows, then string manipulation, date manipulation, variables and data types, then different automation like Excel automation, UI automation, browser, email automation, then API integration, its automation. Okay, SharePoint. Then we'll see some examples. Then this is a very important topic, build a framework. So if you compare with UiPath, the people are already working on UiPath. So we have readily use frameworks are available, but in Power Automate we won't see ready to use frameworks. So if you want, we can build a framework. So that part we are going to see how you're going to build a framework, and that framework we can use it for further development. Okay. Then we are going to see how to integrate a Cloudflow and Dexterflow. Both the things how you can integrate. We are going to focus on scripting part like VB, Python, and PowerShell. Not in advanced level, but as whatever we required for Power Automate or doing in automations, that much part we'll try to cover up. Our main focus would be on PowerShell because this is very much required tool, I would say, when you want to automate during using the Power Automate tool. Okay. Then some part we'll discuss on Cloudflow, and there we'll be discussing what are the readily used flows, then how to build a flows from the scratch, then what are different types of flows. Okay. Then how integration part we are going to cover up in already. So that is going to help us to take the benefit of Cloudflow as well as Dexterflows. Then we are going to see how to, these are the add-on parts I would say, how to deploy a bot, I would say. Okay, how to deploy a bot from one environment to another environment. Okay, so these are the add-on points we are going to cover up, like how to deploy, how to schedule, what are the licensing concept here, and what are different environments concepts here. Then also we have the connectors, Okay. So anybody wants to add anything here? Any special request? If you compare with UiPath, do you think any other parameters supposed to be learned here? Let me open up Power Automate.
Any queue based?
Queue concept is there here. Just recently the new version has been added. But yeah, thanks, Oscar. So queue is there, okay, but not exactly the same how it is there in the UiPath. Okay, this is the different difference is there in this case. Then we'll see how to build a solution. We'll cover up here itself. There are these few new terminologies how to build a solution. Solution in the sense package. How to build a solution, how to deploy, all those points I would say. Okay. Again, I'm repeating. So we are not going to limit our content to this one. So this is just a reference content. Content would be more, there would be addition to this content. Okay. We'll be covering that part. So let me open up Power Automate. We'll start with few things. So basically, whatever you are going to do, that we have to do with using this website. Okay, make.powerautomate.com. So this is the central web application, which is similar to UiPath Orchestrator. Okay. Like Shubhag and all, for you people, it is a little bit new terminology, Orchestrator, but already those who are working on the UiPath, they know the Orchestrator concept. So this is a cloud or maybe web application through which we can control the functionality as well as deployment, monitoring, right? All the features we can control using this make.powerautomate.com. So this is only one platform through which we can control. Okay. So there is a part on the right hand side you can see environment. So environment here it is like dev environment, test environment, as well as production environment. So for all those three, same URL would be there. Make.powerautomate.com is a central application, central website. So only you have to go ahead and change the environment here. This is how it is quite easy. In UiPath, we have different websites for cloud, means for development, for testing, and as well as production. But here in Power Automate, we see only single website, but we have an opportunity to change the environment, and whatever licenses, machines, all those will be there. They are going to add under the one environment. Okay. So under this environment, whatever flows and we are going to build, so those are going to come up here in this particular environment only. So if you are moving from one environment to another environment, so flows directly won't appear there. So if you're developing in a dev environment, all the flows and whatever code we are going to build, all those will be available in here itself. Okay, you can't see it in other environment until unless you pass the flows from one environment to another environment. Understood? So right now we have only single environment. Okay, but we can go ahead and build an environment. Right now we are using a free version. So that part we'll discuss at the later on how we can create an environment and all those things that we'll discuss later on. So we'll focus on what's the difference between Cloudflow and desktop flow. So whatever we can see on the screen, if you go ahead and click on this My Flows, you will see two things here. One is Cloud Flows, another is desktop flows. Correct? As of now, there is no any Cloud Flow as well as desktop flows. So it is totally empty as of now. But when you go ahead and create a Cloud Flow by using click on new flow here, click on new. Okay. So you will like these flows will start appearing here. If you click on Cloudflow here, you have again different versions from there. Okay. So accordingly, we can use that. In Cloudflows, the people are using since many days. Okay. And we have ready to use Cloudflows also available. Ready to use. Most of the things are ready to use. But we cannot achieve a complex automation. I would say complex automation using a Cloudflow. So for that, we have to go and use Power Automate Desktop. We cannot build a complex automation using Power Automate Cloud Flows. So first thing we need to clear, this tool is from Microsoft. Okay. As you're aware, we are working in IT domain, so we know many tools. Most of the tools are from what? The Microsoft company. Am I right? So as of now, we are using Microsoft Teams, Outlook, right? Then Microsoft Office, like Doc, Present, PPTs, Excels, all those are from Microsoft only. Then we have the SharePoint application, we have OneDrive. Many applications are there. We are used to and we are using it for our daily routine job. So that's why Microsoft is already having their own market. Okay. Power Automate is not a new concept. Power Automate is there since 4 or 5 years. But Power Automate Desktop is a new. So for this Microsoft, we're having Cloud Flows by default. And people are using ready to use flows. for their daily routine jobs, I would say. You can see how many times people are used this. You can see the count here. See, 390093. This much time this particular flow has been used so far. So mostly these are done using your applications. Watch applications, Outlook, Teams, Microsoft Office. Some are the 90% applications are their own, okay, and remaining applications like Gmail is not from Microsoft, correct? So in that case, they created a connectors. Connectors means the intermediator between Microsoft application and third-party application. They created a connectors. Those connectors are few are freely available, and few connectors are paid one. Getting, guys? But we are not going to in the depth of that one as of now. We'll see these things once we complete our desktop flows, and we'll see how cloud flows can be created, can be used. All those questions will be answered over there. For time being, what you can understand, cloud flows are something which are available on the cloud platform. Means whatever applications are there on the cloud, those can be automated using cloud flows. For example, what are the applications? We can say Teams, Outlook, Office, Gmail, so and so applications can be automated using a cloud flow concept. Then what comes in desktop flows? Desktop flow is very much equivalent to UiPath. Like desktop flow gives a flexibility to automate any kind of process. So you believe with me, like you agree with me, like when you take an example for an automation, what are the application comes up normally? Can you answer me? What kind of automations like your process involves mostly? Or based on your experience, what are the application comes up in that for any automation?
Excel.
Yes, Excel is the mostly used. I mean, it's there, I think, for any automation. Excel is the first part. Anything else? Web application. Yes, web application is also the part of automation. Then we have email automation, right? So by default one, Excel and email, these are the by default, because email is for sending as well as receiving the mails, or mostly we can communication purpose also, like informing the business the bot has started, or sending a report after completion of the bot. So email automation also mostly used automation in RPA. So basically desktop application automation, then web automation. So these are highly complex automations. Those cannot be managed using cloud flows. Okay, cloud flows is the platform here, so through which we can automate only cloud applications, means which are there on the cloud. Those applications can be automated effectively using cloud flows. But you want to automate which are not on the cloud, like browser automation is there, web automation is there, desktop application automation is there. Those kind of automation cannot be achieved using cloud flows. Hence, we need a desktop flows. Getting the difference? And mostly the automation is most of the automations are in complex in automation, means complex steps would be there, complex business rules would be there. So those kind of automation can be achieved using desktop flows, because cloud flow automation having limitations, and those limitations can be overcome using desktop flows. Is that making sense?
Yes, sir.
Okay, any question so far? Any out of curiosity questions? Okay, I'll take it as a no. Let's jump on to our desktop flow. Okay. Okay, it's asking for email ID. Let me put. Those who are already installed for them, it's fine. Are you able to access easily, guys? Those who are already installed? Bhaskar?
Yes.
Bhaskar?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, good job. So we'll start with the understanding this particular flow. I mean, how it look likes and all. There will solve simple flows. We'll understand the basic structure of this particular tool first of all, and then go ahead and build it small examples. Again, it will ask you to log in using your Microsoft account. With the free account, I would say there would be little limitations, but that won't stop you to do the automation. It's taking time for me. You can go ahead and open the tool, guys, if already installed. Let this Power Automate open and we can start the things. Okay, I'm signing in again. It will ask only once, I think, in the beginning. Once you signed in, I think for the next time it won't ask you to put the credentials. And I want a session as an interactive session. Okay, it's not a one way of training. I would like to, because you are also a developer, you know the things, and want kind of comments or contributions from your side as well. Okay. A few people are new here, but I can consider that. But remaining candidates can participate or contribute to the discussion. Let this open. Mishal is joined, right? Dattatray? Mishal?
Yes, sir. I have joined.
I got. You
Trying
sent
to
a
log in
message.
to my-
Okay, okay. So are you able to install this Power Automate in your machine or no?
Sorry, sir.
Are you able to install this tool or not?
No, sir. Actually, my personal laptop is not with me right now. So
Okay.
tomorrow I will, by referring this recording, I will install the Power Automate. My
No
personal
issue. It is quite easy. You can install it.
I tried to install on my company laptop, but due to security reason, it's not able to. I'm not able to install the.
Yes. Maybe admin privilege won't be having, I think.
Yes, sir.
Pradeep, you installed it, right?
No, I am also facing same issue. It's showing that pop-up.
Admin pop-up. Admin credentials.
Yes.
Okay, then leave it. Don't do it here then. So if you have a personal laptop, you can use that and install it.
Yeah, it's showing that administrative privilege required.
Yes. It won't allow you to do that. Bhaskar, do you have any question?
But life cycle at least to know the of Power Automate.
Life cycle means you are expecting the development life cycle.
Whatever. So, what is the flow from end to end? How the flow is moving from
It's
starting?
very similar to UiPath only. Okay.
Okay, fine.
It's not the same thing. Means what you can say RPA life cycle here. So there won't be any separate life cycle here. It's very similar. RPA life cycle, if you talk about.
Okay.
So in general, it will start with screen is visible, right? The first phase is discovery, process discovery. Then second phase is documentation. You won't be involved in discovery part, okay? As a developer, documentation you may involve, okay? Discovery and discussion, I would say. So discovery and process walkthrough, this will happening, okay? And second phase documentation, of course, what kind of documentation is involved? The same thing. This is PDD. Sometimes it is also called as BRD. What is BRD? Business requirement document. Okay. Then we have to create SDD, solution design document is there. TDD, sometimes a technical design document. PHD, that is process handover document. These are different types of documents we come across during documentation phase. Okay. Next is the development phase. This documentation phase also involves, I would say, getting an access to application, setting up a environment, all those things comes under the second phase itself. Discover and walkthrough is the first phase where we are going to understand the process and getting understanding the process as well as clarification of the questions and queries. That will be happening in a discovery phase and walkthrough. Then we start building a documentation. Also, we need to get an access prior to development. So it could be application access, it could be environment access, kind of things, or VM access, so and so. That will happen under second phase. Third phase is development and user testing. It is a unit testing also. Unit testing. Unit testing means as a developer, we are going to test it with the scenarios as per test cases. Okay. So what this test cases means, we have to design a test cases by with our own knowledge or experience. We need to design the test cases, standard test cases, and test them. Okay. Then the phase comes up UAT, user acceptance test. Means after completion of the development as well as unit testing, we can go ahead and ask the business if they want to test the pod for their test data, or maybe small part of a production data as well. Sometimes business wants to know how this will behave for the production data as well. So they will provide a small part of the production data as well for the UAT. So this part basically business are going to test the bot, or they may ask you to, hey, Bhaskar, can you deploy the bot in a test environment for so and so time for the schedule? So here in development and unit testing, we were testing the bot in attended mode, mostly development testing. Once that is done, while going for UAT, there are the like two scenarios. One, business wants to see in attended mode how the bot is working, wants to give the scenarios, and you need to provide the solution in attended mode by joining on the call. That's a one case. Second case, what some business they say, no, you can schedule the bot in unattended mode, and we will provide the input. We review the output. They won't bother about how the bot is working in attended mode and all. They simply want a result. They provide the input. They will see the result and go ahead and review the result. They again pass the comments. Is that clear? Under UAT, there are two scenarios. One is attended mode. They will see the things how it is happening. Daily they will connect and check the output for test cases by test cases. Second mode is what? They simply ask us to schedule the bot on a second machine in unattended mode, and they will provide the input. Input could be anything like Excel file, email, whatever it is, and they will monitor the output. Based on that, they will come up with the questions or the queries and clarifications. And then phase comes up, that is a deployment. Code review and all those comes up here as well. Okay, under the here itself, I think before going for UAT itself, test cases, then code review. Here members, then deployment. After deployment, we have to provide hypercare support. In the deployment, again, you have to work on PHD document, that is process handover document. Means what are the things required for the deployment? Machine name, environment name, right? Then changing the config file, so and so details. Everything has to be worked under the deployment while deploying the bot, schedule, all those things. Once that is done, normally hypercare supports once you deploy the bot. Because we won't be confident enough bot will work fine in the production. So it may take a couple of weeks to make a bot stable and stable as well as sustainable. So to make it stable, whatever issues comes up, so we'll monitor the bot for the next 1 or 2, 3 weeks, depends on the business agreement. Hypercare support should be how much amount of time. So that will be decided initially. Mostly 2 weeks is hyper support, people support, give us support and fix the issues if any comes up during the production. Okay, so this is the overall RPA lifecycle. Is that clear, Bhaskar? Anybody having any question?
Yes.
Great. So let's go ahead and see the tool, how it look like. So this one is your Power Automate tool. So you can see on the home, we have again ready to use a sample desktop flows. Okay, not a framework. These are the examples. Start with an example like Excel automation is given, web automation, simple example they are given, desktop application, simple example they are given. So PDF automation, text manipulation, data time handling. So kind of simple example they have given. Then flow control. So these are just for beginning a automation. So this will be helpful. Okay. And also we have learning material from Microsoft Power Automate. Okay, on the they're just like how you are having UiPath Academy. Similarly, this Power Automate, Microsoft having their own website where we can go ahead and learn the things. But those are not kind of fully user friendly, like how the sessions were conducting we are putting the questions and are getting clarified. All those things are happening. Customized training is this one. There you can find the kind of standard flows and videos and all those things, but those we can use it for just a reference or for a revision purpose. Okay. Let's go ahead and build a new flow. You can start with this one as well, with the new. Okay. Or else you can click on my flows and go ahead and click on new flow. Okay. And here you'll see all the examples, what is there. Okay. These are the pre-built examples just for learning purpose. Okay. So let me show you the first create and show a sample example. So I'm putting it as a first flow as a name. Click on create. Okay, it will start appearing like this under my flows. And the symbol also indicates here this is kind of desktop symbol is there, PC symbol is there. Okay. It will take kind of 10-20 seconds to set up the things and open up the empty flow. Let this open. Okay, so this got opened here in the background. Still opening. So one plus point of Microsoft is what? Whatever code we are building here, this won't get stored in your local machine. All these will be stored in your cloud. Are you getting what I mean to say? So these flows would be stored on the cloud version directly. For an example, I can show you quickly. If you go and see on the cloud platform, this flow got created there. I'll show. Just we created an empty flow, right? So this will create a means it will store the things, all the things on the cloud itself. So it's not a system dependent, that I mean to say. So under desktop flow, it will start appearing here in. Let me save this and it will start appearing. Okay, it will take some time to appear there, but it's sure like all the desktop flows will start appearing here. All the cloud flows start appearing here. Okay. Let I build a small example. Before that, I will show you what this tool and how it has to be used and all those things. Okay. On the left hand side, once you open up the this desktop flow application, it will land you on this page directly. And on the left hand side, you can see actions. In UiPath, we have the activities, correct? So here we have the set of actions are available. Very equivalent to UiPath activities, but the functionalities and all little bit different, and little bit difference is there, but around 60-70% it is similar concept. Okay, so getting a hands-on action is the first priority, because before so if you want to become a master in Power Automate, you should know what actions are available for what operations. If you want to do certain operations, you should know the best action for that one, correct? So with that understanding, we need to now learn what are the actions are available. So similarly, you can search out, let's say I want to do the PDF operations, you can search here PDF related keyword. So it will show you all the available actions for that. Okay. But you no need to download any actions or something like that. That provision is not available here. In UiPath, we have that provision, download, go through manage package and download the activities and all those things. But here, by default with the application, because this is connected to cloud, right? So it will update the actions automatically in the background, and all the actions will be available here itself. You don't have to download and install. Is that clear, guys? No need to install any extra actions or the activities. All the activities automatically downloaded here. Okay. So that is one thing regarding actions. Then on the top side, we have the options like file, edit, debug, tools, view, and help. In the file section, this is as usual, save, save as, exit. That is simple 3 options they have given. For saving purpose, this one. Okay. Nothing new in the file. In edit part, this is just for normal cut, paste, copy, paste. Okay. And if you want to go to certain line of the code, you can click on this, and if suppose you want, there's a big code we have written. Right now, I'm working on one of the complex project in my company. So where I have written more than 10,000 code line, I would say. So still it's going on. But in that kind of code, if you want to search out something, so that is a difficult. So you can go ahead and click on this, go to line and put a line number, automatically it will go there. So that is the flexibility they have given. Then also if you want to search anything in the code, you can go ahead and search here. Search inside the flow. So anything, if the code is complex, you return multiple line code is available. You want to search anything there, so you can go ahead and click on this and type it, type a keywords. So that will help us to get the things easily or trace the things easily. Okay. Then third option is a debug option. So which is as usual. In UiPath also we have the debug options. You know, we can put a breakpoint, we can put a stop signal, we can put a pause. Okay. Same, like run one by one activities or actions, run entire flow. Like that we can do using this a debug option. So mostly when you want to find the issues with your code, then debug plays a very important role. Okay, putting a breakpoints and checking out the outputs, this helps here. Then the tools part. Under tools part, it's very similar to UiPath tools, where we install extensions, correct? For browser, I would say, like if you have the Microsoft browser is there, Edge browser, Google Chrome browser, then Firefox browser. So in the UiPath also, we need to install the extension before integrating with the any browser. Like automation you want to do on Google Chrome, then you have to install the extension. So similarly, if you don't have extension, by default it will get enabled when you install this Power Automate tool. Okay, but if it is not there, you want to have an extension, then come to the tools part, go ahead and click on this browser option. It will get installed automatically. Is that clear, guys? Browser extension is required when you want to do the browser automation. Okay. Then third one is this is for Power Automate agent for virtual desktop. So basically, this is kind of robot, okay, which executes your code. Suppose you want to deploy this your bot or the process on the unattended mode. So there you need a agent. This Power Automate agent is there. So this will execute a code on a remote machine or a VM. Okay. So to install that, we need to click on this Power Automate agent for virtual desktop. And the very first option, recorder, and these two. Recorder is just like a UiPath recorder. Suppose if you're not getting a selectors, means proper selectors in while indicating on the screens, in case of desktop automation, it may be web automations. So you can go ahead and record your steps using the recorder. So basically, as a human being, we need to navigate from one step to another steps. Automatically, this recorder will capture those steps and put it in a coding. But of course, to make a proper automations, we need to customize that recorded code. We cannot fully rely on that one, so we need to customize it. So this is just for helping to build a code faster. Is that clear? And the second one is inspect UI elements. It's just like a when you are working on desktop application automation or web automation, the selector concept comes up in picture. Okay, so there this inspect UI element will comes in help. So which will help us to identify the selectors. Okay, for new people, selectors concept is what like how this bot, UiPath bot or maybe Power Automate bot, how they interact with any UI element based on the address. So for every element on the browser or the desktop, they have their own addresses. So Power Automate, Microsoft Power Automate as well as UiPath having their own capability to find the address or to trace the address for operational purpose. So you want to see the selectors of any element on this desktop application or maybe web application. So we can go with the inspect UI elements. So these are under the tools property. Okay, next is Viv. So Viv is already available on the right hand side here. This X symbol indicates variables. This layer indicates kind of UI elements or the selectors. And third symbol indicates the images. So this is another benefit of UI Power Automate, where selectors would be stored on the separate section. Getting guys? So that is under view part, that variables, elements, images. And layout is for this Power Automate. So this we can change it if required. Then last part is a help part. Help part is as usual. So this is for documentation, like standard documentation from Microsoft, then tutorials, blogs, community, troubleshoot, all those things are there here in case of help section. It is very similar to UiPath. Okay. Any question guys so far?
Can you explain one more time selectors point of view?
Selectors, huh? Yeah, the selectors will be coming across during web automation as well as desktop automation. At this point, you can understand selector is a thing, but something like how this bot identifies. As a human being, we know like where to type, where to click, right? On any website you want to do automation, as a human being, we know the things like where to type, where to click. But how a bot can identify those elements using a element address. That element address is called as a selector. Understood? Suppose I want to reach you, Bhaskar, so definitely I want your own address.
Yes.
That is also proper address. Take left, take right, like those things, correct? So here bot, we also need to have that kind of addresses to the bot. So those element address are called as a selectors. And that part, we need to install the extension for that first of all. For inspecting purpose means for identifying, exploring, analyzing, we can use the inspect element. A browser extension is required for interacting your Power Automate with the web application. We need an extension. So extension is a separate small intermediate software which will make the communication between browser and your Power Automate easy. Hope I answered your question.
Yes, I understand this, but is there any difference between from UiPath and Power Automate? Why? Because of selectors are changed repeatedly on UiPath of browser, any applications. Is there any possibility to change same method or not? That's it only.
Yeah. The way of getting the selectors and address in UiPath and Power both are different. Okay, they have their own intelligence, and they're in the same way how we normally do in UiPath, making the stable selectors, correct? Making a stable selector. So
Correct.
the same way here also we need to do. Here also we need to handle the things in a selectors part. But of course, you will understand more when you go ahead and implement the selector concept while doing the automation of desktop application as well as web application.
Sure.
Okay. Okay. Any question, guys, from others on the tool? No, that's good. I hope you understood this tool. Of course, we need to hands on there on this one, where the things and how it look like and all those things. Correct. And we need to invest more time on exploring this tool only. But this tool is very short tool, no messy, right? Everything is there on the single screen itself. Right. If you compare it to other tools, we have the multiple screens, so many options are available. But here the beauty is what everything is there on the single screen. What is there on your what you are seeing on the screen, desktop. And one more thing is selector concept. So one beauty is here in the Power Automate is what? Suppose you have there is a website or something, and you added one selector for click activity. Okay, something. That selector will start appearing here under this part. Okay. Tomorrow, and assume we have used the same selector for multiple location. Same selector we have used in a multiple location. In the UiPath, suppose there is a requirement to change the selectors. So there is a difficulty in UiPath. I mean to say is we need to change the selectors everywhere. Go ahead and change the selectors everywhere. Correct. But in Power Automate, if you go ahead and change the selectors, because one selector will appear directly here. Go ahead and change it here on the UI element section. Change the selectors. Automatically, the selectors will get affected all over the code. Wherever we have used the same selectors, that will get changed. So it means there is a concept coming up in UiPath called as object repository. So that will store the selectors, frequently used activity selectors. And if anything comes up, anything change we have to do in that case, no need to go ahead and do the changes everywhere. We can go ahead and change the selectors here itself. Automatically our code will get updated. So this will save again debugging issue as well as fixing the code. This will save a time. And also, before implementing any automation, you can capture the selector directly. You won't see this feature in UiPath. So right now there is no any automation, correct? What I can do, I can capture the selectors. Let me show you simply. Suppose I want to type on google.com. Okay. So no need to use a type into activity directly. If you want to capture the selector first, I know my automation. I want to capture all the selectors and then I further use it. So click on the add element, UI elements. Click on this. It will take a couple of seconds to read this element and start displaying the things. Maybe I don't know whether extensions got enabled or not. Okay, so we need to go ahead and enable the extension first because that is mandatory. Microsoft, oh, it's already there. Good. So then we can go ahead and capture the selectors. Let's see. Yeah, can you see this? It's taking up. Okay, and you can start picking up all the elements. Like I was just capturing this type into one. Then I'll capture, once it is done, then I will capture this, click on Google search. So this is one time we can do all this capturing elements and automatically this will get stored in your code. See, In UiPath, we have to take the activity, then indicate all those things are there, and you can't see all the selectors at one place. Do you agree with me? You can't see selectors at one place. But here, the beauty of Power Automate is what you can see the selectors in one place, and you can rename it if you want. So this is for search. Click on search, right? So you can rename this if you want. This is for click on button. Correct? Click on submit button. Or search, you can say. Similarly, you can type. This is you can rename and type it. This is for rename. Sorry, type into. Text. Once it is done, if you captured all the selectors, then you can take the actions and use it. Let's say type into. There is an activity called as type. Type into is not here. The different name is there. Populate text. Okay, this one web form fillings. You can take this activity, just drag and drop it here. Okay, and here once you drag and drop, it will ask you few things. Like UI element, you can take it from this drop down. Already we captured the UI selectors, correct? You can select this point. I say click on select. But if you don't want to use from that one, you can indicate here, add a UI element. Both the ways possible. But the beauty is what? You can capture the selector first, then you can use it. That way also possible. Getting this point, guys? Of course, we'll see in the detail for when you visit this topic, web automation. We'll see individual activities and all. Just giving an idea like how this tool is superior than other tools in few actions. Not all the like all the things are superior than the other application. It is different than other application in certain extents. Okay, let's go ahead and build a small workflow. The already main part is created here, and then how to create a variable, that part we'll discuss later on. But let's go ahead and build a small example here now, variables and all. So in the variables, there is an activity called as, in UiPath we have called as assign activity. So in here we have variable section here. Can you see this variable section, flow variables and input output variables. Okay, so flow variables we can create using set argument, sorry, set variables. There is an activity called as set variable. This is just like a assign activity, set variable. If you take this set variable, it will quickly ask you the variable name and value. Two things it will ask. You might be thinking, sir, what is the data type of variable? So data type automatically will capture based on the data what you're entering. Okay, so let's say I wanted to create a first variable. I want to put Power Automate. Click OK. So it also show in the screen what is there first and value is Power Automate. I didn't provide any double quote, single quote here. Okay, automatically it will capture the data type. No need to worry about the data type here. Mostly it will capture the data type. Okay, then suppose I want to display this. So there is an activity called as display. In UiPath we have message box. Here we have the display message. Bring that activity. As soon as you drag the activity will start, it will automatically ask you the input output. So there is no any option in the property or something in UiPath how it like, right, on the right hand side. So we normally provide input output there. But here, as soon as you drag the activity, there itself it will ask you provide input and output, required input and output. What it is asking, message box title name and message box to display. What to display? So I want to display the data what is stored in the variable. So how to type the variable is. So variable, you can type it from this X symbol, right? You can, if you want to display anything here, let's say I want to display, type something here, you can type it. Or if you want to take it from the variable itself, then simply click on this X symbol. So it will list out all the variables available in your entire programming, all the variables. Getting my point, guys? So it will list out all the variables available in your code. All the variables start appearing here. As of now, there is only single flow, a single variable. That's why it is coming up as a first. So click on that, select. So it will come up with the percent symbol, percent variable name percent. Okay. So click on save. How to run this code? So this is done. I have completed the code. How to run the code? So there are the two ways. One way is what? If you directly click on this run, it will run the entire project. Getting, guys? So in UiPath, we have the multiple options: run current flow, run project, run like that, debug current flow, debug project, like that. But in UiPath, so in Power Automate, we don't have that much of options. What options we are having is, one is you can click on directly run. It will run the main program, main, this one, main program will get run. But if you want to run the individual workflow, simply go ahead and click on the first activity in your flow, right click. So you'll get option run from here. Getting, guys? So right click, run from here. Click on that. Okay, we're getting the output. Power Automate, because we have given the data as a Power Automate. Understood, guys?
Yes, sir.
Good. So this is there, need not to remember the variable as well. So you can go ahead and search out the variables here. It will start appearing here. And one more beauty of this one is what? It will automatically create the output variables as well. Output variables. Can you check it here? For the display message, it has created the variable output. Variable produced. So this will save again your time for the development. Yeah, you can change the name if you want. Okay, you can go ahead and change this name, insert this double % symbol. You can give any name, but by default, it will add a variable to the output. Understood, right, guys? Suppose I'm giving one more example here. Copy files. See, copied files variable is getting created. Automatically variable getting created. You can change the name if you want. Okay, you can change the name if you want, but this variable is getting created automatically. You need to provide only input, output is getting created automatically. So of course, there are the limitations, advantages are there of this tool, but we need to take the benefit of whatever plus points are there in this tool and build a proper flow. Okay. This is the beauty of this one. Like most of the actions are available, which are not there in UiPath. For example, folder related operations, file related operations, very limited in UiPath. We need to build in some script or something, right? So we have in Power Automate, we have those activities here, as well as the output variables are getting created automatically. That provision is not there. Okay. So many plus points are available here that we can explore and build it. And also this is a main program. Okay. Suppose if you want to do a modularized program as a developer, so we normally follow the dividing the entire process into small flows. That is the habit, right? So let's say launching an application, Excel processing, email, sending an email, taking a screenshot, kind of things. So we create a flows, separate flows we can create. So there is a provision called a subflows here. You can go ahead and create a subflows. New flow is there. Click on this. Let's say test. This will come up here. Okay. But same variable, what we created in the main or here and there, no need to pass the variables here and there. Okay. Whatever variables created in one flow, all those variables we can use in any other flows. So there is no concept of scope. In UiPath, we have that concept, right? Once we define the variable, the scope is for that only flow. But here, whatever variables we are creating, those variables can be accessed anywhere inside any flow. So this is one of the add-on feature they have given. So let me show you quickly. What I mean to say is, suppose I want to display what is there in the variable created for the first flow, that I can call here directly. See, you can click on this, whatever available variables we can call it here. Even though this value is defined inside of main part, it won't come up here. It will be blank until unless we run the main. It won't come up as a first value. Correct. But the thing is, what the variable can be accessed here and there. So that is the additional part or the add-on feature here. Then you might be thinking, sir, how I can call this subflow? Suppose I have created a 10 subflows for doing different operations. How I can integrate that? Of course, these are the part of our discussion and training only. But just to give an idea, just to give a small trailer of that one, how we can do this. So there is an option called as in UiPath, we have the invoke workflow concept is there. So here we don't have that option. We have called as run subflows. This one. Drag this. Test. Click on save. Understood, guys? Let me delete this, and the message box is running from the second flow. Okay, if I run this, what will happen? Say this. So it has taken the data in main, then it triggered the second flow, and it came inside this and displayed the value. Any doubt, any question, guys?
So, sir, actually, the variables are stored in all the main workflow actually. So the arguments are also not used in Power Automate, I think.
Arguments are not used, like all the variables comes under flow variables. Okay. But there is a concept called as invoke desktop flow. I mean, this is one desktop flow, right? Whatever I created, this is called as one desktop flow. Inside that, we are creating a flows. All these are called as subflows.
Okay,
Main
okay.
flow and subflow. Okay. So whatever variable
That
we are
means for this. That means for this variable, this desktop workflow is to send that variable into another desktop workflow, we have to use like argument activities. Like.
Correct. Right. So if you want to if you want to call another desktop flow here, then we can use a concept called as arguments. So if you see in the variable pattern here, so there are the two things. One is a init variables, another is flow variables. So flow variables are inside this particular desktop flow and accessible anywhere. And input output variables are called like your arguments. So this we can create any arguments here, input and output, and provide a name here, and similar to UiPath, they provide the data type. Okay, we can use the default values as well and click on save button. So for example, file path. So this is one I'm creating. Okay, and I'm simply extra name also giving the same name. And this is a text type. Click on OK. So this will start appearing here. This variable can be used here, but when you invoke this workflow, this particular desktop flow, another somewhere else, so this parameter will be coming as a argument. Let me save this.
Yes.
Okay, this will come up as an argument there. Let me close it as well. If I want to run this, what will happen? It will ask that value. Which value? File path value. Without opening the code as well, you can run the job. See, it is asking for that value, file path. Getting, guys? So this is like a argument. So it need this value. Remaining variables are stored and created there itself, inside the flow itself. Of course, this value is not at all used in the code as of now. Okay, even if I provide anything, this will work. It's supposed to display message. Still running. Yeah, see, it's giving the output as well. And if you want to invoke this one somewhere else, let's say test2 I'm writing, it's a desktop flow I'm creating. I'll show you that as well. Okay, and I can call this first workflow inside desktop text2. Both are desktop flows. I can call one flow inside other. So there is a concept called as argument concept. So we can pass the values from here and there. Within a workflow, no need of any passing the variables here and there. All the variables are accessible from all the locations. Okay, this is the empty flow. Okay, so I want to call that first flow. This is a test2 desktop flow. How we can call it is run a desktop flow. There is an option called as run desktop flow. How similarly run flow, there is a called as run, under run flow itself, run desktop flow is there. So you can drag and drop it here. It will ask you available flows. Select the flow which you want to run. So suppose I want to click first flow, which is available as of now. Click on select. It will start asking you the arguments. See here, file path. So you can provide the values here. Understood? So the very first one is what? Desktop flow. Then doing to the process there itself. If you want to call any desktop flows, already we created for some purpose, then this is how you can call it as run a desktop flow. Understood?
That means sir, in Power Automate flows to work like workflow in UiPath.
Yes. You can take the reference always with the UiPath, how it is different. Then you can learn these things easily. Comparison is always better. And for the freshers, it's fine. You need not to compare. This will be easier only. Okay. So anybody having any questions?